The creation in 2nd Enoch. Chapters 24 to 27 of the second book of Enoch can be viewed as the climax of an angelic and divine revelation to Enoch during his heavenly tour. The book tells that Yahweh decided to reveal to Enoch the secrets of his creation, which he never explained even to his angels. Further, the term secrets is applied only to this account of God's creation, conveyed to Enoch by Yahweh himself face to face. The contents of these revelations include the following details. Prior to creation, Yahweh decided to establish the foundation of all created things. He commanded one of the invisible things to come out of the very highest things and become visible. By Yahweh's command, a primordial great aeon, bearing the title the Spirit of the Light of Creation, descended and disintegrated itself, revealed all creation which Yahweh had thought up to create. Yahweh created a throne for himself. He then ordered the light to become the foundation for the highest things. Yahweh called out the second aeon, bearing the title the Spirit of the foundation of creation, which became the foundation of the lowest things. The Spirit of the Light of Creation could come from a Hebrew translation of the phrase, the hand of God. Another understanding would be the light of God. This means that the Spirit of the light of creation is the hand of creation, or the light of creation. The Spirit of the foundation of creation may have originated from the Hebrew word firmament, or it is the formation of creation, or the foundation of creation, the beginnings. Both these terms are personified. They are not described as the agents, but rather as the objects which are transformed and emanate creation. They are not primordial beings controlled by God. They are aspects of the mind of God, or mental powers, unfolding or expanding from its thought or idea to become a reality. By the term spirit, we should understand this as a word of command from God. See Psalm 33 and verse 6. Compare Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. It is also used of the mind of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 16. For who has known the mind of the Lord, that is Yahweh, so as to instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. This is quoted from Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 13. Who is able to advise the Spirit of Yahweh? Who knows enough to give him advice or to teach him? Who comprehends the mind of Yahweh, or gives him instruction as his counselor? Two different translations there of the same verse. So now we come to the text of the second book of Enoch, chapter 24. Before anything existed at all, from the very beginning, whatever existed I created, from the non-existent, and from the invisible, the visible. For before any visible thing had come into existence, I, the One, moved around in the invisible things, like the sun from the east to the west, and from the west to the east. But the sun has a rest in itself. Yet I did not find rest, because everything was not yet created, and I thought up the idea of establishing a foundation to create a visible creation. And I thought up the idea of establishing a foundation to create a visible creation. Here we have the forethought of God, or foresight. It is God's plan of creation, and also his plan of salvation. The first movement of creation is self-reflective. self-conscious thought, the expanding of the thought into an idea to become a reality. God explains to Enoch how the visible and the invisible come forth from the very highest things. And I commanded the highest things, let one of the invisible, concealed and hidden things descend visibly, that is, spiritual or ethereal. And the spirit of the light of creation descended extremely large, and I looked at him, and behold, in his belly he had a great light. And I said to him, Disintegrate yourself, O spirit of the light of creation, and let what is born from you become visible, that is, the establishment of the spiritual cosmos, or the divine realms of light. And he disintegrated himself, and there came out a very great light. The word disintegrate is not a good translation. The word means to issue forth or to give birth. Therefore we should understand disintegrate to mean an emanation. Another translation says, And I said to him, Become undone, and let the visible come out of you. The great light is the divine light, which is without end. It is the aeon of light of the upper foundation, the great light born from or with another light. This is the waters above of the heavens. The light is the water. And I was in the midst of the great light, and light out of light is carried thus. And the great age came out, and it revealed all the creation which I had thought up to create. And I saw how good it was, and I placed for myself a throne, and I sat down on it. And then to the light I spoke, You go up higher than the throne, and become solid, much higher than the throne, and become the foundation for the highest things. And there is nothing higher than the light, except nothing itself. And again I bowed myself, and I looked upward from my throne. The primordial aeon, called the spirit of the light of creation, it has been noted that it seems to be identified with the upper sacred foundation that serves as the basis for the heavenly temple, represented by the throne of God, the light out of light, that is, the light expanding and emanating from within the deity. The great light emanating from within is the pure light or the divine light, which is without end. In the divine fullness or pleroma, it always comes first into consciousness. The light is the aeon, which is the foundation for the highest things, upon which the deity establishes his throne. The light is the illuminating power. It is an heavenly light, such as surrounds angels or God. God is light. Yahweh is light. See Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 17. Psalm 27 and verse 1, Isaiah chapter 60 verses 19 and 20. The seat of the deity thus serves here as the location from which God supervises the unfolding of creation. The throne plays an important role in the process of creation, being envisioned as the center of the created universe. God initiates an invisible personified process called the spirit of the light of creation. The primordial vessel of light is the first creative act of the deity that gives life to the visible order of everything. This is the highest light, world or realm of light. God summons from the very lowest things this time, so that the spirit of the foundation of creation came forth. And I called out a second time into the very lowest things, and I said, Let one of the invisible, concealed and hidden things come out visibly, solid, that is, physical. And the spirit of the foundation of creation came out, solid and heavy and very black. And I said to the spirit of the foundation of creation, open yourself up, and let what is born from you become visible or physical. And he disintegrated himself, and there came out an age, dark, very large, carrying the creation of the lower things. And I saw how good it was, and I said to him, come down low and become solid, become physical, and become the foundation of the lowest things. And it came about, and he came down and became solid, the expansion of the universe, and he became the foundation of the lowest things, and there is nothing lower than the darkness except nothing itself. The opening of the spirit of the foundation of creation lays the foundation of lower things, that is, the physical creation. Darkness hides the glory of the heavens or the upper foundation, and light shines on the inferior physical universe. And I gave the command, let there be taken some of the light and some of the darkness, and I said, become thickened and be wrapped around with light, and I spread it out, and it became water, the formation of galaxies, and I spread it out above the darkness, below the light, and thus I made the solid waters, that is to say, the bottomless. The solid waters are the surface of the physical creation. And I made the foundation of light around the water, and created 7 great circles inside it, and I gave them an appearance of crystal, wet and dry, that is to say, like glass and ice, and to be the circuit for waters and the other elements. And I showed each one of them its road, and the 7 stars, each one of them in its own heaven, so that they might travel accordingly. The 7 spheres contain the mobile celestial bodies. They are also the 7 archangels. And I saw how good it was, and I made a division between the light and between darkness, that is to say, in the middle of the waters, this way and that way. And I said to the light that it should be day, and to the darkness I commanded that it should be night. And evening came, and again morning came, that is, the first day. So to summarize the universe then, according to 2nd Enoch, there is nothing, then there is the great light, the upper foundation, the waters, the bottomless, darkness, the lower foundation, and then nothing again.